everyone, welcome to one more video and thank you so much for watching. Before I start properly with this video, I want to tell you something. So I was supposed to film this video 4 days ago, and I have read a lot about this topic. I was totally prepared for the video. I watched several documentaries. I made a list of the things that I want to tell in the video. And then I woke up, I did my makeup, got ready. I looked really cute that day. But when I started filming, I wasn't able to tell more than 3 sentences without saying something stupid or without making a mistake, without forgetting what am I supposed to say next. And I was trying to film for like 1 hour or even a little bit more, and I was so disappointed in myself that I stopped and I told to myself that I'm never gonna make anything else for YouTube because it's obviously not for me. I'm not good enough, it doesn't make sense, it has no point. And that's what I said that day. So the next day when I woke up, I checked out all those videos or video attempts that I made, and they really did look stupid, but I was like, okay, it was just a bad day, maybe I should try doing it again. One bad day doesn't mean that you should give up. And here I am again, filming the same video, the one that I was supposed to post already. So I'm going a little bit slower, but I'm not giving up. And by the way, if you hear some background noise here, it's rain. It's like raining so much, so please ignore it. So let's start. Our today's topic is gonna be surrogate motherhood. It's something that I have been reading a lot about lately, but it's something that I got interested into recently. And when I say recently, I really mean like 2-3 months. Before that, I didn't have any opinion on surrogate motherhood because I thought that whatever people are doing without being forced to do and without harming someone else is okay, and we shouldn't even discuss it. But then one day, accidentally, I came across a video, a documentary actually, on YouTube about surrogate mothers from certain country. And I was bored, so I decided to watch it, and I have heard so many really sad stories, and that kind of opened my eyes to completely different perspective on this topic. So something that seemed like very simple thing before is way more complicated now, and I would like to discuss a little bit more about pros and cons of surrogate motherhood. And something that I really want to dedicate more attention today is feminist approach or feminist view on surrogate motherhood. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this video. I hope you're gonna learn something new, and I hope that you will learn as much as I learned about this topic in this previous few months. Surrogate motherhood is something relatively new in our world. First baby born this way was born in 1986. She was born in the US, and her name was Melissa Stern. She also became known as Baby M because her birth was followed by a scandal, because her surrogate mother, the one who gave birth to her, refused to give the baby to her biological parents. So the birth of first baby was followed by big scandal, and I think that that's where we can see the big problem with surrogate motherhood. And the problem is the woman who is carrying the baby, even though she knows that it's not hers, still develops some feelings for the baby, and it's hard for her to give the kid to her biological parents. That was 35, 6, 7 years ago. Wait, even more. Well, anyway, I'm bad with maths. But ever since surrogate motherhood became more and more popular, we all know at least few celebrities who became parents this way. And it's not a thing for celebrities anymore because more and more simple, normal people are choosing to become parents this way because they might not be able to become parents in a natural way. As for now, surrogate motherhood is very complicated from legal point of view because every country has different laws regarding surrogate motherhood. In some countries it's banned completely, in other countries it's allowed in every single form, and in some countries it's only allowed if surrogate mother is not receiving any money for her pregnancy, which I personally believe is completely okay if someone is going through pregnancy and giving birth to a baby in order to help to their friend or family member And if they're not doing it for money, I think it's completely fine. I don't think that government or laws should be getting involved in that. So surrogacy is legal in quite a few countries, but in some countries it's way more expensive than in others. USA is, for example, one of the countries where it's legal. I believe it's different in every state, but in general, you can find a surrogate mother easily in the US, but it's gonna cost you way more than in some other places. Other countries where it's legal to pay a surrogate mother to give you a baby is Colombia, Ukraine before the war, and Georgia. Georgia the country, not US state. And as you can tell, all these countries are on less developed side, if I can call it that way. The standard of life is way lower there than in the US or in Western Europe. And that's where we see the first bigger problem with surrogate motherhood. A lot of people are wondering if rich couples from more developed countries are actually abusing those poor women and putting them through pregnancy in order to give them a baby, and back the only thing that they're getting back is few $1,000s or euros, which is very small money for such a complicated process as pregnancy. I personally believe that it is using of poor people in favor of the rich ones, but that's something that's happening in every single field of life. I mean, just look at the fashion retailers. All of them are producing their clothes in the poor countries and underpaying their workers and selling it to the richer people in more developed countries. So this is definitely using poor women in favor of the rich people, and unfortunately it's not the only field where it's happening. There are two problems that I find very important in this topic, and the first one is problems from the perspective of the child and problems from the perspective of surrogate mother or woman. When it comes to the child, of course, we can all say that the child is gonna go to loving parents who were crazy about having kids and were not able to do it, so they will be really happy with that baby. And it's probably true in many cases. I believe that a lot of people who actually are trying to get the baby this way are suffering a lot, and they're probably gonna be great parents and all that. But after watching that documentary that I can link in the description, I have realized that this is actually quite complicated for the baby as well. So I have seen those hospitals that are specialized in surrogate motherhood, because their agencies, whole agencies specialized in surrogate motherhood, that organize all that. So surrogate mom gets pregnant, she gives birth and all that. But after giving birth, she is not supposed to touch or hold the baby, because they are afraid that if she does so, she's gonna become too attached to the baby and she will refuse to give it to baby's biological parents, which I understand, it can happen. But I have seen scenes, and this is like real life, it's not a movie, where baby is taken away from the surrogate mother immediately and it's left to cry. So nobody can, nurses are feeding the baby a few times a day, and that's it. The baby is not supposed to be touched by anyone, it's not supposed to be held by anyone until baby's biological parents appear. And I believe that in many cases they're already there waiting for the baby to be born, but sometimes they're not, because they are from abroad. And this is something that actually happened when war in Ukraine started. I remember reading many articles about surrogate moms giving birth and being left there with the babies because nobody could come because of the war. So I think that this is something that's affecting a child. The biggest problem with surrogate motherhood, in my opinion, is something that until recently I didn't even know it was a problem. As I told you in the beginning of the video, until very recently I didn't even think so much about surrogate motherhood, and I thought that if those women, surrogate moms, are doing it without being forced to do it, it's fine, it's their right. Who are we to tell them that it's wrong? And I really saw nothing wrong in it. I mean, they're getting paid, they maybe can earn more for their families, they can get some advantages from the situation. But after reading and watching those documentaries, I have changed my opinion quite a bit. Another thing that I have realized only recently is that this is a very feminist topic. And I have read about surrogate motherhood opinion from many feminists on the feminist groups on Facebook or wherever, and I have seen that a lot of them are against surrogate motherhood. And I was always like, I mean, why would you be against? If woman is doing whatever she wants to do, who are we to tell her no? But now I finally understand, because those women who are saying yes to surrogate motherhood might not be doing that because they want to, but because they are forced by current situation in their life. What I have realized is that something that might look like free will of a person is actually not free will. It's just a very bad life situation that they're in. And after watching all those ladies in that documentary that share their experiences, I have realized that this is very feminist topic, because all those women who decided to become surrogate moms in order to earn money are doing so because they are in a bad life situation. They are very poor, they have kids to take care of, and they are not able to earn their money in any other way. And in a lot of cases, their inability to earn money in other way is a consequence of them being a woman. Let me explain this. A lot of the ladies who decided to become surrogate moms are not single girls who are leading carefree life and just want to earn some more money in order to buy new clothes. Those ladies are usually women in a very hard life situation, usually caused by men. Let me explain this also. A lot of surrogate moms are actually moms already. They have their own biological kids that they have to take care of. And a lot of them are single moms who are not getting help by their ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or father of their kids. And I don't know how is it in your country, please let me know in the comments. But in my country, if man doesn't want to pay for his kids, there is no law or force that's going to force him to do that. So he can just leave, not pay for his kids, nobody's going to punish him, he doesn't care. Kids are left with the mom, and mom has to take care of them. And in many countries, including mine, even though we are not big on surrogate motherhood, but in many countries who are less developed, it's impossible to find a job that you are going to be able to do with the small kids and to earn enough money to take care of them. So many of these women are actually choosing to become moms, to become surrogate moms in order to feed their biological kids. Because guess what? Dad just decided to disappear. So this is in this sense, it's definitely feminist topic. So these surrogate mothers are putting their life and their health in risk in order to provide for their kids, because they don't have help from the father of the kids. And when I say that they're putting their lives and health in the risk, it's unfortunately true that even though we live in 21st century and most of the countries have medicine in a good level, it's still possible to die or to get physical health problems after childbirth. So it's still a reality, it's still happening. And for surrogate mothers, it's even worse, because they are just doing it for money in order to survive, and they are putting their life in risk in order to do that. Another thing that I haven't realized till recently is that even though the baby that they are carrying is not theirs biologically, they still feel it is, because your body doesn't know, is not telling you that, hey, the baby doesn't have your genetics, just ignore it, it's going to be there for 9 months and then you're going to get paid for giving birth. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Those mothers are still feeling connection to the baby that's not biologically there. They are still going through the whole pregnancy, which is, I don't know how it is because I don't have the experience, but it's a hard, complicated process, and they are getting influenced by all those hormones that women are getting influenced by during the pregnancy. So their body and their soul is behaving as if the baby was their own. So giving birth to the baby and actually seeing the baby go away from you with its real parents is hard for every woman. Of course, there are women out there that are not choosing to be surrogate mothers because they have kids to feed, but because they are simply living in a really bad conditions, and being surrogate mother is one of very few ways for them to get out of that situation. One of the reasons for this may be the fact that women everywhere in the world are in biggest danger to be poor or to fall into poverty and homelessness than men. It's an unfortunate reality. And also, as we all know, I think in almost all countries, women are getting paid less than men in average. So that might be one of the reasons why some women who are having hard time surviving might be deciding to become surrogate mothers. I have noticed that the more you learn, the more you educate yourself, the harder it is to decide what's right and what's wrong, what's moral and what's immoral. That's why we see so many smart, educated people not being able to decide what's good and what's bad. And we also see so many stupid, ignorant people being very self-confident and about their opinions. This is something that happened to me as well. As I told you, until recently, I didn't know much about this topic. And I thought it's something completely okay and that we should let everyone do whatever they want. But then when I started educating myself, I have realized that things are never black or white. There are many shades in between, and something that seems very simple in the beginning at first might not be as simple. So it is very hard to tell my opinion on this because after all the things that I have learned, I'm very confused and I don't know what to think. On one side, I totally understand that there are people out there who are not able to become parents in a natural way. And when you really want a baby, you will probably do everything to have one. And I also believe that there are many parents who are taking good care of the woman that's their surrogate mom, that is giving birth to their baby. I believe that there are many people who are paying them well, treating them well. But at the same time, I believe there are way more women who sacrifice their lives and health in order to become surrogate moms, just in order to earn very little money and in order to survive. So I believe that in order to solve this problem, we would have to solve all the other problems in the world first. We would have to solve the poverty, the lack of education, gender equality and all that. And after all that, we could actually attend this certain topic of surrogate motherhood. But that's a long way to go, so I believe that it's gonna keep being very big thing. I believe that many more countries are gonna make it legal, and I believe that many women are actually gonna decide to become surrogate moms in order to survive. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new, same as I did in past few months. If you did enjoy, please give me a like or subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments what do you think about this topic. Are you for surrogate motherhood or you're against? What are your opinions on all these things that I listed in the video? And please let me know how is the situation in your country. Is it legal? Is it illegal? And in which form of surrogate motherhood is legal? Because I have been reading about this a lot on the internet, and you know, it's hard to find information about every country because laws are changing and so on. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video.